You guys, welcome in my backyard today. So happy Saturday. Life is good. Bitcoin seems stable. This whole Bitcoin Cash battle is just I don't know what's going on. But yeah, Bitcoin is holding pretty good. I bought a little more Bitcoin Cash. It went up about 45% last night. I haven't checked yet. I'll share my screen, go out. Meeting will start momentarily. Let me make sure I have disable. Move this down. Let's go to CoinMarketCap. This is a good site, by the way, coinmarketcap.com. Here's all the top cryptocurrencies on the market. You can see here, I think it lists the top 100. And you can sort these columns too. So if you have a crypto trading account, you can fund it with Bitcoin and you can buy any of these hot. So check it out. You can do a price change. So ATM chain, it's only 4 cents right now, and it went up 70%. It just popped pretty big. Gas is doing pretty good, up 40%. To get back to where you want to get, you want to go by market cap. It's all about the market cap. Market cap is all the money that has been purchased into the cryptocurrency. And which creates the value, and then ultimately the biggest value comes from the exchange of the actual token for products and services globally, right? Everything else is we used to call it in the software business vaporware. There's a lot of vapor ICOs out there. These are the real ICOs, actually being fundamentally delivering value in the market. Ethereum is a platform to build the ICO tokens. All ICO tokens at launch are built on the Ethereum code base, ran on the blockchain. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Cash just went down. It's actually up still 14%. I shifted Bitcoin over to Bitcoin Cash, a little bit of money, and I went in at, what did I go in at? I went in around 1,400, so I'm actually down a little bit, so I have to move it back out. But I padded the drop in Bitcoin because Bitcoin, if you guys noticed, what the heck was it? It was down to like 6,800 or something just a couple days ago. Now it's back up to 77 and we're holding strong. But once again, this is just crypto coin market and then .com. You can see Litecoin. It's up a little bit. I just got some Litecoin. Dash is very strong, folks. I don't know if you ever heard of Dash, but dash.org, you can set up a wallet. Make sure everyone's, you mute yourself. If you come in, I mute everyone automatically. The meeting's going to start in about 4 minutes. Just make sure if I hear you, I'm going to mute you. If I mute you twice, I boot you. And you're still not muted. So the fun starts already. I'm sitting outside, and let me stop my share. Because people don't even know that they're not unmuted. You have to actually physically unmute yourself to be heard because you automatically, Robin Cockrell, you were unmuted. So that's your first unmute. Next one, maybe if I feel pretty good today, so I'm a little nice. I won't kick you out of the meeting, but if it's the second time, and then I hear you the third time, you can watch it on YouTube. Let's put it that way, tomorrow. Let me go back to my screen share just to finish out this thought. I also, I don't use Coinbase that much. Coinbase really has mixed reviews, boy, but I always use their chart. I really love their chart. It's just simple. This is what I do usually, folks. I'm not a big chart watcher, but I do watch them, right? So I always toggle between trends, right? You always want to look you want to look at the 1 week trend, which is most important. You can see it's actually trended up, but it's leveling off here, right? Then you go back and just on the day mark, You can see that it's already lost $100 just today alone. That's sometimes it's profit taking, buying and selling, not a big worry, but it's up $80 just in the last hour, which means that people are beginning to buy again. Then I switch over to Ethereum. Ethereum is always kind of like a benchmark. It's a very solid token, by the way, folks. You should be really wanting to own Ethereum. You can see over the last month, it's went up about $30, but it's very stable. The last day, it did go up just a little bit. The last hour, it lost 70 cents. Big whoop, right? Litecoin, another big alternative to hold your cryptocurrencies in. Up a little bit this week. Actually, it came up about $8 over the month, yeah, which I noticed. And then with Bitcoin, we all know how beautiful that thing is. The other thing I do is I look at coinmarketcap.com. Like I said, you can sort by the change of the currencies. This is all the top 100 cryptocurrencies on the planet. You always want to sort initially by market cap. You can see that here's the top 10. You guys probably haven't even heard of some of these. NEO is really interesting. I don't know much about that, but in IOTA. But NEO, you can see it's up 40% already. I believe this is a weekly update on the percentages. Merino's always been a real solid token. I missed that one. I had buddies that bought in at $5-10. It's 132 now. So talk about 2,000% on your money. Also, just real quick, I wanted to show you Zcash, very solid. BitConnect, I've been talking a lot about BitConnect because Bitcoin X4 will go into the presentation here shortly. We're about 5 minutes past the hour, so hang in there. It's all about building up Bitcoin quickly so you can get into programs like BitConnect. BitConnect, you can see their tokens at 293. It's down a little bit, but it's super solid, folks. I bought in at $60, right? So it's 300. That's 5,000% return. And you get 1 to 1.5, 1.8. It fluctuates on the market and the spend, but you basically lend your Bitcoin and buy BitConnect tokens and earn a daily return. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so that was enough on that. Let me go out on Messenger. I just updated everybody in the meeting's starting now. We have we had about 70 registered. We have about 60 attending right now. So it's a Saturday. Lots of folks are like still waking up, decompressing from all week at work, watching college football, taking hikes, mountain biking, doing all the things that people do on the weekends, right? Everyone working for a living, working for the weekend. Let me stop my share here and just welcome everybody. Yeah, some of in my backyard here. As you can see, some of the things my wife makes. She's very crafty. Here's a really cool mosaic. She gets colored glass, gets an old window, and then makes mosaics. Paints, loves the fishies. We love our wine. I don't deep sea dive, but look at that. I don't know if I'd go under the ocean with that thing. Yes, I was away for a couple days. I'm getting caught up. Just so everyone, whoever's a paid member, I have like 20 people that cycled just last night alone. So I will eventually need, I'm going to probably train my wife, the only one I trust with the program, to be honest with you, for now. But yeah, so that's all popping and hopping, and then I'm going to update boards and things. So anyone who's a paid member, I have about 152 messages. I had about 25 last night because I had 200 driving home. I got through them, most of them. So I had 25 and went to bed and got up, and I have 152 waiting. So you're one of the 152 waiting to either get a board link, add somebody, get paid out, wonder where I'm at. If I disappeared with your Bitcoin, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, folks. They're going to have to carry me out of the building. Let's put it that way, right? This is how I make my living. I help people make more Bitcoin so they can change their lives and build long-term wealth. Anything else is, what do they call it? Well, everything else is extra. Everything else is what keeps us busy during the day. Nothing else matters but making you money. Because if I help you, I get help. I learned that quite a while ago. I learned that when I had my first baby. He's 22 now. I learned that, wow, It isn't about me anymore. And you'll find that as you make more money and you get more, more in groove with life, you realize that it really isn't about me. It's all about what I can do. What did John F. Kennedy say? It's not about what the country can do for you, but you can do for your country. It's very similar to what you can, extrapolate back to your actual person. And true success is when you really get to a point where first of all, you're comfortable in life. You have the Maslow hierarchy, right? You have the food and the shelter, and you have, stability. And then eventually you get to self-actualization, which is where you get to a point where you can actually be empowered enough to help others. And then you can sit back with the Corona on a tropical island and realize that you're not only still delivering value, but you have a value to the marketplace as well as to society, to your family. It isn't all about, yeah, I made $1 million bucks, man, I'm gonna go party, right? Once you turn the lizard reptilian brain around and get to the point where you're self-actualized, then the magic starts to happen, and you realize that, why is that person not under me? Why aren't I cycling? Once you get out of that thinking and say, wow, okay, cool, I'm gonna go help some people get in, and oh yeah, I'm gonna cycle soon, and then you, boom, things start to pop. The universe loves that positive helping energy. Everyone's here to help as well. That's what's the beautiful thing about the Unified Bitcoin team. Okay, so let's get started here. Got a fair showing. I hear someone tapping on their computer or unmuted. Let's please try to mute ourselves, or I have to remove you. And some people accidentally unmute themselves and they don't even know they're unmuted because they're watching football or doing their laundry, and they're not even really watching the meeting. They're just attending to see if they've cycled yet or made money. And so the last meeting we had, all my meetings I go out, I put them on YouTube. The last meeting has about 800 views, so that's encouraging because we have over 1,000 members. And there's 71 people here. Where are the other 930? They threw their Bitcoin over the fence, and they're watching football. That's where they're at. But they want to make money. They want Robert to make money so they can go watch more football and go have bottle service tonight, right? So funny. Okay. Let's get started here. I want to share my presentation. Let me get it into view mode. I changed the logos. Hang on one second. Got someone unmuted or feedback. Hang on. Sorry, guys. This is a first. I'm hoping it's not me. Hearing myself double. Hang on. Okay. Whew, boy, I tell you. Someone is unmuted and on open speakers, not headphones. Yeah, I'm getting feedback. I'm hearing myself. I'm hoping it's not me. Someone is unmuted, and hopefully it's them. Wow. I think it was Jonathan. Or it's me. I may have to get headsets. Hold on. No, bear with me here, guys. This is the first time this has ever happened. I'm outside, but it doesn't matter. I'm just outside because I don't want to disturb my wife and my son. They're still sleeping. I can still hear myself. I wish I could mass mute. I thought I mute all, and I will not allow. All right, so I just muted everybody, which I'm learning more and more about Zoom every day. So I appreciate you guys' patience. And let me go back out. And I prevented anyone to unmute themselves. I took away their candy, okay? All right, so welcome to the Unified Bitcoin Team's Bitcoin X4 presentation. I was just going to say before I was talking to myself and someone was unmuted, we've upgraded the graphics here a little bit, fun stuff. The Bitcoin X4 Tal, I mean, I know your full name, Tal, but I appreciate you sent some graphics to us, and I used your world and the new X4. Kind of cool and sexy. Thanks for that. So Bitcoin X4 applies market-proven methods of crowdfunding. You heard a lot about crowdfunding. Quite a bit of Bitcoin matrix programs use the term crowdfunding. It's really a direct member-to-member donation payment platforms, and also crowdfunding is used. GoFundMe, you know, if something happened to somebody and you put up a page to raise money for their injury or their disease, what have you. Also, there's ICOs now, initial coin offerings that do crowdfunding, which means a bunch of people send them a bunch of money, and they try to use that money to make their coin part of the marketplace and a part of the exchange. And ultimately, people using the coin buy products and services, which is the last hurdle that most ICOs don't get over. And that's why ICOs and a lot of the launch turn into nothing, or they're just 0.000, you know, half of a cent, because no one's using the coin. So I digress. But crowdfunding is very prominent, and we use that as a way, leveraging the power of Bitcoin and a team system leverage to turn a small amount of Bitcoin into a large amount of Bitcoin. And we utilize really a simple 2x2 matrix system that we'll explain here shortly. Real quick about myself, Robert Cash, the Crypto Cash King, founder of the Unified Bitcoin Team, founder of Bitcoin X4, 30 years sales and marketing, MBA graduate. Before, I've been full-time online for a couple, 2 or 3 years now, but before that I was 16 years in the payment software business. I was helping companies automate their payments and their electronic invoice, electronic payments, business to business. Work with some of the largest companies on the planet using the banking system. Now the banking system is pretty nervous. They're not going anywhere, but the blockchain is like really the next evolution of the banking system, enabling global transfer of electronic currency over the internet in a secure, decentralized, and digital ledger fashion. I've been over 3 years now in the cryptocurrency space. Wish I was over 5 years, but it is what it is. 3 years is like in dog years. So I've been 21 years in Bitcoin cryptocurrency. And some of you will know what I'm talking about. Things change so quickly that it really is an accelerated market right now, and you're at the perfect place at the perfect time. And I've built teams in the thousands in the past, and I've already built this team up to 1,000, and we're over 1,000 now, maybe 1,100 members in a 30-day period. My goal was to get to 500 members by the end of November, kind of eclipse that goal. I wanted to be at the 1,000 going out of 2017 going into 2018. So I think we're going to be at around 1,500, if not 1,800 going into 2018, which is a very healthy organization, to say the least, which enables us to begin to make a consistent Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Looks like I had this graphic inserted here by accident. I was copy and pasting this morning frantically. But you know, what the heck is Bitcoin? I mentioned it a little bit just in the last slide or two, but at the end of the day, it's a digital asset, and it's now starting to be recognized as a currency, which is able to you to exchange the Bitcoin value for products and services globally. It's not only a digital asset, folks, but it's an actual currency. And it also has its own payment network. It really is the trifecta, right? It has everything all wrapped into one. Whereas the banking system, it has its payment network, but then you still need money orders, cash wires, Visa, MasterCard networks, ACH, banking, checking to check. You need all that mumbo jumbo. A lot of it's very antiquated to move money. Whereas Bitcoin, you just set up a Bitcoin wallet, fund it, and then send it instantly over the blockchain network to someone else with a Bitcoin wallet. So it's really instant money transfer. It hasn't been too instant recently because of all the battle. There's a big political and power struggle all about the green. between miners and network operators of the blockchain and the technology. They all are fighting over each other, trying to figure out what the optimal data size is for the block. Really, Bitcoin is blocks of data. The data inside the blocks are your actual record of your transaction. It's a digital ledger. If you ever done accounting, or ever it's balanced a checking account, or ever looked at your checking account online, hopefully you did all the above, you'll notice that banks, debit and credit, right? So the blockchain is an electronic digital ledger of debits and credits instantly in real time between Bitcoin holders. And the way that you can unlock more Bitcoin into the market, there's only 22 million ultimately tokens allowed. When Nakamoto, had a dream, woke up one morning and started to build the blockchain network, he said, I want to make it something of true value for the future, and it's really internet money. And I'm going to build this big electronic digital ledger, and I'm going to actually ride it upon my own network. And it's now decentralized and now live. But there's a big battle now between all the folks that took hold of his network and leveraged it and built big farms. And what happens is when you send a Bitcoin transaction to somebody, it's a digital ledger registered, and there's little encryption of showing how much Bitcoin you sent to somebody, right? It's at 0.002, 0.003. And what happens is there's so much Bitcoin being moved over the last year or two that the network can't hold it and can't move it fast enough. So what they're trying to do is compress the data and then move it faster over the network. And that's what the hard forking is trying to achieve. But at the end of the day, it ain't going anywhere. It's going to evolve and get better and better. But what happened is that the main stakeholders that keep it live in terms of their network and the servers, and when you move Bitcoin, there's big data farms out there. Most of them are in China, Russia, Korea. It's pretty global. But when they move Bitcoin, what happens in the Bitcoin network is that after you do a certain amount of Bitcoin computations and data movement, you get rewarded more Bitcoin, and that's called a miner fee. And the miners are out there validating the transaction. And how they validate it, they do a complex transaction. That's why you see, if you ever saw Bitcoin mining farms, they're as big as your house, if not 10 times the size of your house, and computer servers as far as the eye can see. And they're all in refrigerated rooms connected, and that's really the blockchain at the end of the day. And they're figuring out your transaction to validate it and then move the money. So it's really a beautiful thing. So like, once again, it's a digital asset, it's a currency, and it's a network all wrapped into one. And why the banks are there is because we kind of still need the banks, right, to be able to cash out of Bitcoin to our local currency so we can pay our bills. Soon, our bills will just be, Bitcoin will convert into the Fed coin, the Russian coin, the yen coin, the China coin. They're all going to have their own token on the blockchain at the end of the day. And that's how global currency will run. The banks aren't having anything to do with it yet, even though they have major staff dedicated to understanding the blockchain network. Also, like I said, I was in the payment software business for many years, but IBM, Accenture, Google, they all have, literally, you get your MBA in blockchain now. And you're hired on as the VP of blockchain. And you come into the organization to understand how you can leverage the blockchain. If you saw a commercial, if you watch all the major sports, IBM has a commercial now that they're tracking tomatoes on the blockchain. That's what that means. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous, just like the internet. What is Bitcoin X4? It's, like I said, it's leveraging proven methods in crowdfunding, direct member-to-member payment, but also a real simple 2x2 board matrix system to distribute the payments among members. It's very efficient. It is still manual because I'm a control freak. Some people say, where's your back office? Why isn't it automated? Because most software out there that tries to automate this sucks, essentially, right? It's broken. You can't, when you go in and you register, oh, what's my username? I lost my password. And you're buried in support tickets because people can't even log into the system. When they're logged in, they didn't pay right. They didn't put the right wallet in. They paid the wrong amount. they're under the wrong person, all nightmares, and it all goes away. We live on Google Drive, your Bitcoin wallet, and Facebook. Those three things. Real simple. Why did I create it? Well, out of necessity comes invention. I was pretty frustrated online trying to leverage the existing Bitcoin matrices, crowdfunding matrices, and it's essentially also solving the two biggest problems online and making consistent money. I'm sure you can relate to those two problems. And you're not alone. 80 to 90% of the people that go online trying to make money fight these problems. And all I've done in my last 15 years, both offline and online, I've been online ever since they turned the internet on. You know, you got mail. I never used AOL because AOL sucks. But I was on the internet when it first went live. Let's put it that way. I was one of the first few that registered into Facebook. I've been on the internet for ever since the internet went live. But I've been in sales and marketing for 30 years, and I've been in network marketing and MLM, and I've been building big teams. And these two problems never go away. They just get a little better. Let's put it that way. Problem one, no one has any money to make money. People are literally struggling every day, living check to check. And I'm sure we all can relate to that. Now, some people have money. I'm not saying, but when you come online, most people have maybe an extra $100 to see if they can, spin the roulette wheel, right? And pull the slot machine and see if they can turn that 100 into $1 million instantly, right? We all know how that works. Problem two, not being able to recruit or sponsor others, which ironically enough, I'm going to stop my share real quick, get some FaceTime because I hate PowerPointing to death, and I'll tell you a story here. I'm a big face guy. It's all about relationships and building networks. That's where wealth and success truly comes from. It's not joining some, every shiny object under the sun. The only way to create true value and income long-term is to connect with people and networks. And programs are just the income vehicle. Two biggest problems, right? No one having any money and no one being able to recruit. And it's like, universal laws, water is wet, right? And gravity sucks. You can breathe oxygen, and people don't have any money to make money, and people don't know how to recruit. I mean, it's just like, there's a top 10 list of universal laws. That's number 9 and 10. Most people trying to come online to make money have those two problems, and they're looking for solutions. Well, net, and I'll go for 90 minutes. You'll just be like, man, that was a long meeting. But the total end result is Bitcoin X4 has been created to solve all the problems that I discussed that everyone can relate to. The other big problem that weaves into these two, well, first of all, let's cover the money. No one has money to make money. Okay, so people say, do you need money to make money? Well, it's a lot easier. Let's put it that way, right? So let's look at that, right? How can I go make money? I have no money. Well, I can start a lemonade stand, but I don't got no lemonade. So let's see. What's the plan B? Man, I'll go find a job. What are my skills? I just saw that new show, The Interview. Good God. It brought back just nightmares of when I used to interview for jobs and stuff. And I was in the corporate world for 20 years, right? And so describe your weaknesses, or sell. They had this pen, right? Sell this pen to me. It's like, so you go find a job to get money so you can make money. So the only way that you can get money is either through a job or other people's money. You can borrow the money. And that's always a little, I watch Shark Tank also. They're basically wanting to borrow or have them invest in their business so they can take that money to make money, right? Or most times when they start their idea, the magic shoe or, the magic hat, whatever it is, they max their credit cards out. They ask for their mom and dad's money so they can start their business, and, they're crying. It's their own, and it's all good. But so this is what you need to start to understand. Money doesn't just come out of thin air. Money is an exchange of value. Right? If you're not creating value, you're not getting money in return. The value that you create is the job that you get, and you come into your work, and 80, 90% of the people don't even like their job on the planet, right? So that's the whole money thing. And then we go to the recruiting. Now, here's what I also bring up, and it's sometimes it wakes people up. Sometimes it's like, yeah, right, or I don't believe that, or they just struggle for another year and they realize a year later, say, that Robert guy, he was right. But 80 to 90% of the people on the planet do not like to sell and market. But the only way to make money online is to sell and market. Oof, wow, that sucks, right? Might as well pack my tent and go back to my job I don't like. Now, what's the solution? Well, those are the two biggest problems: no money and not being able to sell or market, which is really it's not really selling and marketing. It's just sharing and networking and building relationships. Then you hit the big time. So it's not like, hey, what does it take to get you in that car today? Or none of this cheesy sales stuff. And marketing is just sharing value so people can actually, and ultimately selling is just helping people buy. Everyone loves to buy, but no one likes to be sold. So when you walk into a store, can I help you? What do you say, right? No, I'm just looking. No one wants anyone to force them to do anything. And that's how people's thinking around sales and marketing is. Well, I don't want to sell and market to make money. F that, right? I freaking hate selling and marketing. I got to get out of my comfort. So what you do is it's not instant. It took me a while to learn sales skills, and I'm still learning every day. And ultimately, it's just about connecting with people and helping them solve their problems, becoming really, their helpful comrade, their friend, actually care about them. Imagine that, right? And ask them questions of, what is it you want to achieve in life? What are your goals? How can I help you? What have been your struggles? What have you done before? Man, when you start learning all that stuff and you start connecting with people, world is your ball of clay, and you can just live on your phone, right? And money because the universe knows that, well, this dude is getting it and he's helping other people, and I'm going to reward him. So 80 to 90% can't sell, but the only way to make money is to sell. So how you get around that is you work with the Bitcoin X4 Unified Bitcoin team. You come into a team and a network, total newbie, right? Don't know really what's going on. All you need to do is just hang out, because guess what? You get paid without selling and marketing or recruiting or referring. Now, I don't want everyone to come in, throw me Bitcoin, and then every couple weeks, right, you get on the phone. Hey, Robert, sorry, I've been at a barbecue, at a wedding, at a basketball game, baseball game. Have you made me any money yet? Have I cycled yet? Can you send the Bitcoin to my wallet? Okay, talk to you later. Hey, I'll take those people for a certain point of time, and this is, the day of reckoning is coming, folks. It's a private group, and I'm going to start reserving the right to say, okay, send me your address. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then boom, I just send your money back and we part ways. Tough love. Because ultimately I know I'm doing you a disservice, me a disservice, and the entire planet a disservice, because all I'm doing is giving you the way to make money, and you're delivering no value to the market. The only value you're delivering is sending me your Bitcoin. I don't need your Bitcoin. And the planet doesn't. Maybe ultimately your family will need your Bitcoin and the planet will need your Bitcoin, but you need to understand that this is a team, it's private, and we're building skills to get you off the 80 to 90 percentile and bring you over to the 5 percentile, which is where all the millionaires and the people with all the money on the planet live. Because they sell and market every single day, but they sell and market their ideas and how to run their company more efficiently, right? Anyone that has money on the planet are entrepreneurs that started their own company or their own business. I mean, just once you have that aha moment, there ain't nobody getting rich working for somebody else. Make sense? And then, yeah, you can start putting some testimonies over here on the side. I just noticed someone, some people are a little facetious. Some people are honest. Okay, so 80 to 90% can't sell, but you need to sell the market. So you got to, two things, right? You need to collapse your thinking around sales and marketing. It's not all cheesy and uncomfortable. All you're trying to do is help people solve their problems the easiest way and build a relationship with them. Done, solved. So 80 to 90%, you start moving over to realizing that, okay, now I know that in order to make money, I have to create value, I have to build relationships, and then I get money in return, right? So it's just like this. And that's what kind of happens without you thinking when you get a job. the alarm goes off, you get up in the morning, have your coffee, go to your job. You're delivering value to the business owner that pays you your paycheck, right? And the more that the value you deliver, that you get a raise, but what you're doing is you're building their business and their wealth, but you're still getting in exchange a paycheck to pay your rent and pay your bills. So it's still a reciprocal, like Trump talks about reciprocal relationships. Reciprocity, which is a hard word to say, is so key in life, right? It's a common exchange of goods and services. That's why Bitcoin is it's reciprocity across the blockchain network. A $1 of Bitcoin is worth $1 of Bitcoin no matter where you send it globally. It doesn't change, right? The only thing that changes it is the buying and selling of it in the marketplace, just like the Forex market. Some people are making a killing in the Forex market. To me, go have at it. I'm more in the crypto world. Okay. So the other big thing that I wanted to cover there was just really about the money. If you don't have money, Bitcoin X4 solves that, because what I did, and I'll finish up, I'll go back to the slides. 15 years ago, I started to realize that the two biggest problems making money online, offline, making money at all as an entrepreneur is that you need to, well, first of all, if you design the pet rock and you get it the right distribution, you can make $1 million and you don't have to build a network. You don't have to make one friend, right? So you got to understand there's exceptions to any rule, but at the end of the day, this rule was pretty solid. In order to truly build lifelong income, because the pet rock kind of was a fad, right? Or you go on Shopify or eBay, or you do CPA, cost per action. You do affiliate marketing. You do high ticket. You do low ticket. No matter what it is, you're going to need to know how to bring in a network of people and help them solve their problems while you're helping yourself solve the problems. So help them make money, and then you make money. Okay, let me go back to the slides. I am outside, so welcome. Some people, I had another 20 people that showed up since this meeting started. I am recording this, but I have dogs that'll bark in the background, and God knows what's going to happen. But I'm outside because it's Saturday and it was nice weather, and I didn't want to bother my. I usually sit in the back room, but it's next to my son and my wife, and they're both getting a little extra rest on a Saturday morning. Can't blame them. So yeah, so we really just solved these two biggest problems. See, if you don't have money, you got to have at least $25, right? So, but I can turn 25 into 100 for you, in a couple, in about 30 days, if not sooner. The only way you could accelerate is to invite more people. That's why once you get the two things, once you solve these two problems, and we're here to help solve this problem, but once you realize the problems exist, that's the first step. Then okay, so how am I going to get more money to make money? Well, I'm going to start out small, and then I'm going to leverage the money that Robert gets me on my payouts. I'm going to take half of it and reinvest it, half of it cash it out. Then I'm going to start learning how to network and share and invite people to these Zoom meetings so Robert can do all the selling for me. Aha, right? So it is just, and then you share the team website, and the team website does all the selling for you. Before you know it, you don't really have to sell and market to make money. You've now cracked the code. All you're doing is inviting people and making money. It's one of the biggest things that people, there's the aha moments in life. That's one of the biggies when you're online. You realize that really it's just setting up and being a part of a solid team with solid programs, and all you're doing is connecting with other people that have the same problems as you, helping them solve their problems by inviting them into the team and the system so they can solve their problems along with you. And by working together, your problems become opportunities, and you accelerate your success and earnings. Boom. Boy, actually, you can press rewind and listen to that about 22 times a day, and you'll be free. Okay, so what makes it unique, right? All the bozo programs out there, the shiny objects, the fly-by-nights, how many Bitcoin matrices have we all joined? How much money have we lost just in 2017 alone, right? For me, I kind of figured it out, and several times I turned 200 into 14,000 in 2 weeks. So I kind of understood the power of a matrix, but the problem was 90% of my people weren't making money, and I'm not about that. I want to make sure that 100% of my people make money, and then I can make money too. It only makes sense. If the system doesn't do that, it's faulty. So here's the problems that we solve here. And this is the problem with all matrices. Problem one, all matrices eventually fail. Wow, that's a shocker, right? I mean, ultimately all, I don't want to be defeatist, but most things, there's always a diminishing point of return in everything. All living systems, all matrix systems, all governments, all currencies, everything eventually will fail. The planet, the universe. So that's a nice cheery Saturday thought, right? But at the end of the day, I'll go cover why all matrices eventually fail. They just get imbalanced. They get too wide. They don't follow the proper follow process, and there's just not enough people coming into the matrix. Now, I'll share what we've done to solve that. Problem 2 is the imbalance in the matrix, and then there's an improper follow me function in most matrices. Those are the top 3. There's quite a few others. One of the big ones is that there's so many of them, and you get so distracted that you never work it long enough and get enough people in it to make any money. And you notice every matrix that is launching, it's probably 3 that's launched in the last 30 minutes, is that you look at the matrix and all the money is at the bottom. Why? Because no one gets to the bottom to make that money, and all the money that everyone puts in goes into the admin's coinpayments.net account, right? And he may be a nice guy, he has a family, but he'll just use that money to go buy a car or another house and then start another program in another few weeks, right? So been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the visor. I'm here to hopefully solve and get you out of that rut. But ultimately, Bitcoin X4 is really not the end goal. The end goal is to get you independently wealthy with residual income long term. And what you do is you use the Bitcoin X4 as your leverage to get out of the rut of not having money to make money and not being able to recruit. So you solve those 2 big problems. Then you begin to leverage your Bitcoin to make more Bitcoin. And then when you have more Bitcoin, then you start putting the Bitcoin into solid programs like USI Tech, BitConnect, Yoda, Mint Builder, some of the 4, 5, or 6 multiple streams long-term income programs that the Unified Bitcoin team works as a team, and then you finally hit home. And you get to a point where you ultimately can replace your current income. If your current income is 0, it's a pretty easy job to replace that income, right? But if you're making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month at your job that you don't like, that's your first goal. 90 days, let's replace that income, and then you have a choice. Do I want to wake up Monday morning and go to a job I don't like and a boss I hate? Or do I want to work online and help people make money and make the same, if not 10 times the amount of money doing it, right? This is what we do here. We also have, and I'll be sharing this today, had another epiphany when I was sleeping. I usually have really thoughts of some good, clean thoughts, either going to sleep or waking up. You become the bridge. You bridge your unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind using in those realms. Aristotle, Michelangelo, Einstein, they all really took those little 10-minute, 15-minute, 1-hour naps because they always wanted to wake that. They always wanted to cross that bridge to get to the infinite mind. So my infinite mind, that's pretty deep. Sorry, but some people know. I was reading a Facebook post from David Wood, the founder of Empower Network. He went off the deep end a little bit, kind of like Jim Carrey has done. After making $500 million, Jim Carrey realized that he started to see into the ether. But I was reading a Facebook post from David Wood, and he went through a lot of painful times in the last 6 months, but he's coming out of it a rock star. And some of his things he was writing about was exactly what I was just saying. It's all about the ether and reaching into this universal thought, which is ultimately all good, all knowing. It's not struggle and hate and fear and all that nonsense. But this is when I was in that ether, I said, okay, I'm going to create this 15 or 30 day cycle assurance. So it used to be where after 30 days you didn't make your money, I sent your money back. That was already stellar. Ain't no program online that even does that. This is like beyond stellar, right? And so I'll go into that and how beautiful it is, because it drops your guard. It makes you relax a little more, and it makes you actually go out and network and share more so you can build even more wealth. It removes the barriers of your mind of fearing that you're going to lose money. Once that's dropped, folks, watch out. All right, here's real quick why matrices fail. They get too wide too fast. You've been there and done that a million friggin' times. But at the end of the day, it's pretty simple, right? This guy right here, this person needs that certain amount of people below him to cycle and make money in any matrix. But this person also needs that same amount. But at the end of the day, these 4 people need 6. So it's 4 times 6, 24. So before you know it, then 24 turns into 48, 48's 96, 96, 190. And it goes on, and all of a sudden there's 500 people on the bottom that all need 6. 500 times 6 is 3,000. 3,000 times 6, you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you need a planet Earth to make money, to cycle. Whereas this, in our program, works in a simple 2x2 board system, and I can control this major problem. The other big problem with matrices is they have runaway legs. Whereas, you know, there's a big matrix, there's 32,000 people in the matrix, and you were the 5th person that joined, and you have no one under you, but everyone else is under someone else. How is that possible? Because you're over here, and all the company and all the gurus are over here, and they blew by you. And the company could go to 100,000 people, you'll still have no one under you. There's no way for those people to come over and get under you. Eventually, down below here, it may merge where you can start getting, but it's a nightmare, and then you just jump to the next matrix. This also is a problem with matrices. There's there's some 2x2 follow me systems, which is a little bit flawed in that this person, you know, if they are sponsoring a lot of people, they just hop and start multiple boards, multiple 2x2s. The only way to really follow that person is to you also sponsor a ton of people. And that never happens, and it just fails. Whereas the big gurus, they bring in people, they help you cycle, and then they come under you, you know, on the next instance, and they help you cycle, and then you help them cycle, and then they help you cycle. It's all one big merry-go-round. It just keeps going around and refreshes. So we'll show you more about that. So here's some of the things that you get when you join us. You get the private chat where I announce people cycling. You can see some examples here. This is pretty old, but, you know, like I said, I think we're over 1,100 members. I think we're approaching something like 60,000 in payouts for Bitcoin Instant to people's wallets. Here's the private group that you get invited into, the Facebook group, and you get your own replicated web page. I'm sure many of you that are on this call have seen this page. I've updated it with a new Zoom that talks about the cycle assurance plan, and so I'll be making some more updates on it. But it's real simple and real clean, and it converts like candy. The highest converting program or site I've ever been involved with. I think I'm a little bit biased because it's my own program, but what I'm seeing is it's nuts. It's nutso. It's so viral and it's so simple. It's almost too simple. People try to complicate it. I think the only big problem we have right now is just having patience. Money does take a while to grow. You have to understand that, you know, your money issues, right, have been developing over 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. And so your money issues will not be solved in 1 week. Make sense? It's kind of like, you know, for me, I'm a little overweight. Well, I got overweight by last 3 years, kind of drinking a little bit too much, not exercising. It's going to take me 6 months to get back to my ideal weight, right? It's not going to take me 6 days. So this is another big thing. And then when you join the program, we want to make sure we come in as a very patient, helping, loving participant and not a bitter soul, right, that has been burnt and lost money. We all have been there and done that, but I just wanted to make sure we're clear on that. Here's real quick, and we'll cover this new cycle assurance plan. Now, some people that went, gosh, it was about, what is it, the 18th, like 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I had that epiphany, the dream. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So when I started, it was 14 and 30, and then just like 2 days ago, I'm like 14 and 30. It's like it's not even like, doesn't even add up, or it's not simple. So it's just 15 and 30. So people were like, wait, I thought it was 14 and 30, you know, but it's 15 and 30. So how it works, starting on Wednesday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, how long has it been? 3 days ago, we now offer 2 cycle assurance plans. Option 1, after 15 days, all paid members can request a Bitcoin payout and receive a new spot on the board to start the clock again. Option 2 is instead of after 30 days just getting your money back, you get fully cycled and paid out in full and a new spot added. It's a beautiful thing. Here's a quick note. Anyone joining before the 15th of November, which is about probably 80% of the people on this meeting, they're like, oh, cool. You know, I'm going to go back and see when I join. And in the 15 days, I'm going to, you know, message Robert on Facebook about 9 times a minute asking for a payout. No, you have to wait your full 30 days. If you joined on the 15th, then you have until 11:30, 15 days from 11:15 to take advantage of option 1. And we'll go into what is option 1. Option 1 is after 15 days, you can request a Bitcoin payout. You're paid as follows. 50% of the original purchase. So in a quick example, if you came in at $25 spot after 15 days, well, 50% of 25 is 12. So it's $37. So I round up. I gave you $40 Bitcoin after 15 days. And a new $25 spot which starts a new 15 and 30-day clock. Someone asked me, if you pick 15 days, do you always have to be on 15 days? No. It's some people have, just so you know, 20 spots on boards, right? All over the place, 20s, 50s, 100s, 200s. They can pick and choose anything they want. So in one spot, after 15 days, they can cash out, take some of their money to pay, take their wife out, their husband out, buy a Christmas present, buy some turkey, or go into another board, and then the next one, they'll let all the other ones mature at 30 days, whatever. So it's all flexibility. What it is really beginning to do, folks, is to make you understand the power of money, the power of time and money as it works together, the power of compound interest, reinvestment, all that fun stuff. And I'll show you the pay chart here. So this is how it works after 15 days. So if you join on the 15th, 11:30 at the end of November, you can say, you know what, Robert, I came in at 100. I want my $150 Bitcoin, please. And thank you. Please and thank you goes a long way, folks. Most 95% of the people say thank you and please, and they actually treat me with respect and don't treat me like I'm their employee, because I'm definitely not. I'm the owner of the company, and you have been invited. It's another thing I was thinking about is that a driver's license, or even a passport for that matter, it's really a privilege, not a right. So when you become a member, it's a privilege to be a member, not a right. Meaning, I'll just send your Bitcoin back and we part ways. Does that make sense? So I don't mean to get, because most people are really super nice, but part of the problem we have in the world is all this anger and bitterness and hate and oppression, right? And oftentimes it's just an angst that people have that they have to get over. Forgive and forget and make your life a better place. Don't be a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. Okay, so I digress. But that person, after they paid their 11:30, they pinged me on Facebook. This is how it should run. Hey, Robert, great program. Yeah, I just talked to someone. They're interested in coming in. Hey, guess what? I got in at 100 at 50. I'm going to take advantage of that option one. Can you send 150 to my Bitcoin wallet, please? And go ahead and you said I'll get a new spot, right? Can you send me the board link when you get a chance? And man, once again, this program is amazing. Thanks for everything. And compared to, hey, it's 11:30. You said you option one. You're gonna pay me 150. You're gonna send my wallet right now, right? You see the difference? And you would be shocked that over half of the people online is that second person. Why? Because they've lost thousands of dollars. They've been burnt. All their money's been stolen. They've lost $1 million. They're at a job they don't like. They have no money, right? And so it's almost like this analogy I always say is that, there's that dog in the pound where the dog has been abused, right, his whole life, and it's not really the dog's fault. And so what we do is we take the dog that's been beaten out of the cage and bring him to the Bitcoin X4 Unified Bitcoin team. And we love and forgive him and treat him with respect, right? And the dog becomes your best friend. So many times I always give to people that are bitter and angry and disrespectful and don't say thank or welcome or, please, the benefit of the doubt that they're sort of damaged. No offense to those out there, because we're all a little bit damaged, let's face it. That's why we're here, trying to learn how to become better people. But I'll begin to talk to you about that issue, and we'll cover it. And if you still press and you still want to be angry and bitter, then I'll just send your Bitcoin back. We unfriend. I may block you, I may not. I don't know how mad I'll be that day. But I just want everyone to know that this is no game, and this is no. And then I already know people, their mind is working. It's like, okay, how can I play this system and make the most money I possibly can? So you got to understand that I know all. I see all. I'm online 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, which I'll be also talking a little bit about expectations when you're a member. Gone are the days, folks, that you can just join and then 3 weeks later you're messaging me on Facebook. Hey, what's up? Send me your address. I'll show you what's up, and I'll send your money back. And I won't be blocking you, but I may not even unfriend you. And I'll let you think that over for a while. If you want to come back and you want to participate and you want to like and comment and juice and help and share, then you're welcome to come back, and you're welcome for 15 and 30-day payouts, and we can become friends again. But I am really done with the people that think they can come in, join, throw their Bitcoin over the fence. Once again, I don't need your Bitcoin, folks. I certainly don't need attitude. So when you join and you think you can just walk away for weeks on end and then come back and then get a payout, it ain't gonna fly with our company. So just letting you know. You can take a few days off, right? But I want you back, and I want you liking and commenting and participating in the team, because it's really for your own benefit, not really for our benefit. It's teaching you that you need to have responsibility and respect for making money and being a part of a team. And it's also teaching you skills, lifelong skills, to build a future. So hopefully that sinks in a little bit, folks, because I don't want to go there. Trust me. Here's how the 30-day payout works. After 30 days, and I'm nice enough at this point, I laugh because each person that trusted and joined this company, because we're only about 5 weeks old, we're just over 30 days old. So there's a few people that joined and literally did nothing, didn't share, didn't like, didn't comment. Some guy pinged me before this meeting started that he doesn't even have his website yet. There's absolutely no excuse for any of that. But yeah, he wants his payout, right? So there's going to be some exceptions to every rule, because I own the company. And so hopefully, you know what I mean? So it's not like we didn't sign a contract, let's put it that way, right? So I hate to say everything I just said over the last 8 minutes, but if I don't say it, folks, you have no idea how many people cross that border and push me to my limit. And man, you ain't going to meet a nicer guy. But if you cross me, the party's over. So if you've joined on October 18th, it's now November 18th, you now are up for a full payout, because you've now been a part of our company. I did send a little love note to somebody and really emphasize that over the last 30 days, I didn't really see you around much. So we're going to work out the payout, and I'll get you your Bitcoin, and I'll get you a new spot. But if I see kind of you kind of disappear for 30 days, then I'll send your money back after 30 days, and we're sayonara, right? So, okay, I've really hit on that hard because it's so important, because I'm just really tired of all the babysitting and all the people that are just angry and bitter and think that they can get something for nothing. Okay, so you can see I've been ranting and raving, but you can see all the payouts there, right? As you move to 200, it's not a full, it's not a full payout per se, but you still get 4x in all this stuff, folks. That's why it's called X4. You make 400% of your money, right? Go to a bank tomorrow or Monday when the bank opens and say, hey, can I put in some money and get 400% in a month? They probably would, put you in jail, or put you in a straitjacket. So all kidding aside, the way that I've run this company and I run the system, I can control the payouts, and I can pay these numbers out. That's not to say that the numbers may change, where it could move eventually to a 50-50. So all the payouts will be, when you cycle, 200% will be paid back to your Bitcoin account, 200% back in the system. That may start in sometime in 2018, so don't everyone panic. But I want you to know that, first of all, money does not get created out of thin air. Money gets created out of creating value and bringing people in and helping and sharing the money. But money is very powerful. We have 1,000 people now all coming in, sharing their Bitcoin with each other. We can last a very, very long time. But you can see on the 200, it gets paid out 500, which is ridiculous, first of all. You put $200 into anything and make 500 after a month, get out of here. You put 200 in USI, guess what you make after 30 days? 60 bucks. You still have 200 in the system, you only made 60 bucks. So you're still out 140 bucks. If the company goes under, you've lost 140 bucks. And that's one of the most popular, most prestigious companies online right now. BitConnect, you put 400 into BitConnect, what do you make after 30 days? 80 bucks. Guess what? BitConnect in January says, oops, sorry, we're done. You've lost 320 bucks. So let's get real, folks. And let's have a little bit of respect of what's happening here. the more that we respect and value what we have, the more valuable it will become. Does that make sense? Here's an example of Mark, Mark must have 2 Facebook accounts. I laugh when I see his little cartoon picture. It's cute, Mark. But he doesn't have his real face because his real account, his wife and his family probably, doesn't want him doing these kind of things. But after his wife sees this payout, she's like, all right, wait, what? What's Bitcoin again? Wait, so what did you make? Oh, yeah, by the way, we need a new washing machine, right? You know how that goes, or a new something. But yeah, congratulations to Mark. But this is what we post out in the chat. He just cycled his $200 board last night. I sent him 500 bones, and he got a new $200 spot and a $100 credit to buy more spots. Here's BJ, one of my good buddies. I've been online working with him for about a year and a half now. BJ is a great guy. He's I get a little emotional. Give me a second. He's a veteran, and really starting to help him out a lot. So he cycled the $200 board and received 500 in payout. He has multiple boards, and just can't wait to keep helping BJ out. He's a great guy. Here's a quick example of Mark's payout. Yeah, we actually do send you Bitcoin. There's 499.66. And some people are already thinking with their reptilian brain, Robert, you owe me 34 cents. And if you don't send it to me, I'm going to report you to Facebook. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, the money gets sent just instantly to your Bitcoin account. And some people say when they first join, you need my wallet? No, not until you cycle. So in 15, 30 days, I'll need your wallet. Or if you go sponsor 6, 10, 12 people, I may need your wallet tomorrow. Make sense? I don't need your wallet when you actually get a payout. This is not a normal program where you register in the back office to put your wallet in there to receive money you're never going to receive. I only ask you for the wallet when you actually have something coming. Here's what the $400 boards, we're just setting the 400 boards up and time and date stamping them as we speak. Some people say, can I get on the 800 board? Can I get on the $1,600 board? Not yet. Most of our company in the last 5 weeks did 25, 50, and 100 and a little bit of $200 boards. That's where all the activity has been. And people are making crazy money just with those. You'd be surprised, especially with reinvestment and leveraging the money up. But the 400 boards are getting arranged, and we'll start to go live with those later today, just so you know. And I'll be announcing $1,000 payouts today, which is kind of cray-cray. Let's put it that way. How do you get started? Pretty simple, folks. You pick a board you want to start on. You send that proper amount, total amount. So if you want to go on 25, 50, 100, $175 Bitcoin, you send the total amount to the Bitcoin group wallet address, and you're in. We plug you into the chat, the group, get you your website. We send you the board link. A board link is in real time on Google Drive through Google Docs, your picture of your 2x2. And so just so everyone knows, I'm going to crack out of this presentation, get some more FaceTime, and then we'll go through some Q&A. Just so everyone knows that when you first join, right, everyone's like instant gratification, right? And it's like the 22nd century. Everyone has on their cell phone. If you want to instantly know anything, you go to Google. You want to, everything's instant, and everyone's ADD. And so normally with programs, you register in, right? And you get into your back office right away. Oh, I forgot my password. Oh, wrong username. Oh, what's my email again? Oh, wait, my URL's not right. Oh, I sponsor somebody. They're not in the right position. How do I move it? Let me do a support ticket. All that nightmare, right? Then you put your Bitcoin wallet address in there and you save it and you're like, woo, all right, let's go spam Facebook. So having said that, what I wanted everyone to know is when you join our program, it's a private family, a private group. You come in, ideally your sponsor knows the group wallet. They send it to you. You send the Bitcoin. You have to send your hash ID, which is the receipt of your payment. Some people say, what is a hash ID? How do I find my send receipt? That's a little frightening, to be honest with you, right? And I make this analogy several times, but if you sent PayPal money to somebody, and I ask you, can you send me the PayPal transaction ID or the receipt of the money that you sent me via PayPal? First of all, PayPal sucks, and everyone hates them. And the CEO of PayPal said, oops, I missed the blockchain big time. They're trying to get PayPal onto the blockchain. It's going to be about 3 years. They may need to call in Elon Musk, which is the co-founder of PayPal, by the way. Elon Musk, the big Tesla guy and the big solar energy guy. And he also has this really cool thing that you can put on the wall in your house, and you charge it up like an electric car, and it runs your entire house. So it eliminates your energy bill. So the guy's just friggin' brilliant. But getting back to, if you sent me PayPal, I say, okay, can you send me your PayPal receipt? What's a PayPal receipt? How do I find that? Right? You log into PayPal, you go to your sent transactions, you look at the transactional ID, you copy, paste it, put it in the messenger, done. Now, Bitcoin wallets is like a PayPal account. How do you set up a Bitcoin wallet? When you set up Coinbase, and I keep bringing up the analogy so people can realize, because 10 years ago, people started with PayPal, and like, what the F is PayPal? You're going to send me PayPal? No, send me friggin' dollars, right? But eventually, PayPal got all cool, and it was an online form of payment. Now, everywhere you go, it takes PayPal. You can pay PayPal with Amazon.com, which is about ready to accept Bitcoin, by the way. Okay, so when you set up your Coinbase, it's just like setting up a PayPal account. You set up, and you got to give your identity. You got to take a picture with your ID so they know that you are you. You're not some terrorist trying to make a nuclear bomb, right? Thank God they have some type of KYC security in these programs, because the biggest thing that governments and banks say about Bitcoin, oh, it's a dark market. Oh, you can buy and sell weapons. You can buy and sell weapons with anything. And it's all BS. When you come into Coinbase, you register and you become a verified customer. Then you add your credit card. Then you attach your bank. And then when you get ready to buy your Bitcoin, you use your credit card and buy your Bitcoin. It's just like buying PayPal, right? You don't have PayPal dollars yet until you have PayPal balance. How do you get PayPal? You use a credit card or your checking account in your PayPal account to buy PayPal. It's exactly the same as Bitcoin. It's just that Bitcoin is the next generation of PayPal. It eclipses PayPal. It is a form of payment. It's a value, digital value, and it has its own payment network. It doesn't need banking systems or PayPal networks to run. It runs above the entire grid of all other banking and global money systems. It is its own money system grid. That's why everyone's so pissed off. And it's decentralized. No one controls it. You don't know if you've seen Mr. Robot yet. It's a cool program I was watching for a while. I haven't watched it much, but they're building a token competing with China, and that's part of the plot. It's pretty cool. But anyway, when people say, what's hash? I don't know. I'll have 2 eggs over easy with it. It's your friggin' receipt, folks. So when you send me Bitcoin, you go to your wallet, any wallet on the planet Earth. Some people say, well, what wallet do you use? What do you recommend? Go to Google. If you're in South Africa, go, what is the best Bitcoin wallet in South Africa? Search. And then go to YouTube to see, how do I find my hash ID in Coinbase? Go to YouTube and type that sentence and go search. There's 4,200 videos to show you where to find your hash in Coinbase. But no, Robert, I just want you to tell me in 3 paragraphs on text through Messenger how to find my hash. Anyway, so I just go on and on, but you have no idea, folks. So 1,000 members, 600 of them don't even know how to find hash. 400 do, right? So congratulations to the 400. Woo! You go to your transactions in your wallet, folks. You go to your Bitcoin wallet, you go to transactions, you click on transactions, you click on send. You click on it, it opens up. There's usually a little box, a little arrow. You click on that arrow and it goes out to the blockchain, a blockchain site. Block.R, block.e, block cipher. It's the blockchain real-time network. And in the URL, the website address is your hash, right after the / mark. So whatever it is, and you copy, and then right below it, there's a long number. That is your receipt number of you sending that payment to me. So it's proof. Now, here's a big kicker. How do we tell this 15, 30-day mark when you get ready to cycle? It ain't your freaking board links, folks. That's a whole other story. I'll get to that. Now, I'll answer the top 3 or 4 questions, and we'll end up here. I'll look at if I have some questions. I'll get to all those. But you have now a marker of when you joined. So if you send your Bitcoin right now at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern on 11/18, boom, your time date stamped. So on 15 days from now is like December 2nd. You can message me. Guess what? I'm going to need you to either screenshot or send me your hash of the exact date that you purchased. So you can now, you think I track all this stuff, folks? Are you freaking kidding me? I work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, making you money. You haven't made any money yet? You will. But if I had to track everything else, I would work 28 hours a day, right? It ain't going to happen. It's your responsibility, and I'll go into this. When you sponsor somebody, it's also your responsibility to get them all plugged in. It ain't just throw the guy over the fence to Robert, and I'll go off and find somebody. I'm shocked lately that when you sponsor somebody and they tell me who their sponsor is and I know who it is, and it's 3, 4, 5 days later, they haven't gotten their board link, they're not a part of the chat, they're not a part of the group, they don't have their website, and I'm just getting their hash. Very, very bad. Very, very bad, Jetty. So that time and date stamping will be important. Now, if you've joined on October 17th or October 18th, Merry Christmas, right? Because you cycled and you haven't done anything. And I haven't even seen you for 30 days. I should just say, you know what? Your 30 days clock starts again now. And then if I see you, but I won't do that. So don't cry. I will send your Bitcoin to you. And then you'll just be like, wow, this dude's real. You know, he's actually a real dude. And he actually sent me money. This has never happened to me in a million years. You know, half of my members say that to me, by the way. Okay, so time, date, stamp, very important. Because what's happening now, right? What was happening in the last 5 weeks? Why aren't I cycling? Where are my people? My board's been empty for a week. What is going on with this program? You know, it's all this, you know, preconditioned nonsense and anger and bitterness from all the other programs that they've been in and all the money that they lost. Let's take it out on Robert, right? So I never really wanted to be a psychologist, and you know, and I probably never want to be, but I'm really here to help you. So I will actually take you through the steps of recovery, right? And first thing is you got to admit you have a problem. Second of all, then I can help you. All right. So let me. So you know, I think I'll cover the top 3 or 4 questions, and I'll get into some other questions, and I'll share some more stuff. We're about a little over an hour. We're recording, all good. Just so in summary, and then I'll start my questions. Bitcoin X4 has started to turn a little bit of Bitcoin into a lot of Bitcoin in a quick amount of time. Now, quick amount of time, what the F does that mean, right? It doesn't turn, you know, 100 Bitcoin into $1,000 in Bitcoin in one day. If you go out and find 20 people, it may, right? So there's a correlation that nothing happens on the planet Earth until something is sold to somebody. Wait, what? You know, and then you kind of wonder, it's like, wait, getting back to how 80 to 90% of the people on the planet don't like to sell or market, but the only time that something happens on the entire planet if something is sold or marketed to somebody and someone actually buys it. So 10% of the people on the planet who are not a part of the people that don't like to sell or market create 100% of the action and the income in the world. Who are these other people? The workers, the employees, right? And they're cool because they get their check every 2 weeks or every month, and they get to watch football and basketball and have a family and their kids. So all good. But you need to start understanding, you need to rise above the noise, I call it. You got to rise above the darkness and see the light. Because you only get one life, maybe 2 if you're lucky, right? And if you come back for a second life, if you effed up in this life, your second life ain't going to be very fun. And that's kind of karma. Some people believe that. I'm not really sure. No one really knows. No one's really crossed over and came back. Some people have said, that scientists say it's kind of your brain, and once you pass and you look and you go up above your body and you look down, they say it's like an internal dreaming process in the brain for survival. So I digress. But you need to understand that in order to get, and this is what I also talk about, there's two big things in life. You either in a job you really don't like, but you're doing it for the money so you can keep your bills paid so your kids can eat, right? And you're safe, you have a house, all good. And then there's the entrepreneur, career entrepreneur. So it's either one or the other eventually. You have to decide. Because if you want to just, keep your job and you kind of like it and you want to make a little extra money, you can come over and play in this Bitcoin entrepreneur world. But you also understand that in order to shift, which means that you replace your job income with your online income, the only way you can do that is there's a transitional period, and this is what Bitcoin X4 is designed for. It helps you transition from living check to check with no money with a job, because you make, let's say, $2,000 a month and your bills are $2,100 a month. Been there, right? You have to float money and wait for a paycheck and float a check 3 days to get, we've all been there. We have to take cash advance off our credit card to keep our bills paid. No fun. In order to make that transition, folks, you got to go back and listen to this and understand about how becoming a networker, inviting, sharing, being a part of X4, the team, learning how to connect with solid programs and learning how to turn a small amount of money, because everyone has a small amount of money, into a larger amount of money. And then you have options. The options that you have is being around people that are successful with money. Tony Robbins says, if you want to be successful, go find people that are successful and see what the heck they're doing. They're working a lot harder than most of us. Let's put it that way, right? But in order to make that transition from job to career entrepreneur, you have to begin to own it. And you have to start doing stuff that you may not like. But here's the kicker, right? Because the career entrepreneur is almost like a job, but it's not a job you don't like. It should be a job that you love, right? Bingo. Because when people ask you eventually what you do for a living, I work at Starbucks. I'm a barista. No, I actually don't. They ask me, I don't really know what I say. Sometimes I say a different thing every time. What I say now is I work on the internet and I mostly work with Bitcoin. So I'm like, wait, what? The F are you talking about? Right? Most people have heard of Bitcoin, but even 6 months ago, that only Bitcoin has only penetrated the global market and people's awareness only about 8%. We have 92% more to go, folks. So you are like at the beginning of the beginning of friggin' electricity. All right, so I digress. So the reason I'm bringing this up is, the first big question is, how long has this been around? What's this Bitcoin X4? Yeah, it's a bunch of BS. No, it's a Ponzi. It's a money game. Oh, yada, yada, yada. Those are the beaten dogs in the cage, right? And I got to decide, do I want to unlock this cage and bring this beaten, bitter, angry dog out of his cage and love him? And, if I have enough time, maybe. What I'm looking for are people that get it. They're in this entrepreneur mindset. They still have a job, but they're trying to transition. And what you need to do is try to transition yourself from the job to a career entrepreneur, so eventually you replace your income and then you have options. But Bitcoin X4 started about 5 weeks ago, but it's, what you say to people is, actually it just started, but it started by, Robert Cash, Crypto Cash King. Sounds kind of funny, but he's been in sales and marketing for 30 years. And, you can show him this Zoom because I go over all this stuff. So that's the number one question. How long has it been around? Oh, 5 weeks? No, I'm going to wait for at least for a year. And then I'm going to put in 25 and see if he actually pays me. Then, all that BS. If someone's like, oh, it's a Ponzi, it's a scam, it's a money game, how long has it been around? Talk to you later. If they're your friend or your family, I'll see you at Thanksgiving dinner. What's the most uncomfortable time in your life? It's Thanksgiving dinner. You see all this family, and all of a sudden you realize it's like, hey, don't get me wrong, I'm a family guy from the word go, but you know how it is. Sometimes you get together with your family, you're like, when's dinner over? When can I leave? There's that. And then you also say that I've been, in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for many years, built teams in the thousands. So, I talk about the 4 biggies in any money-making opportunities on the planet, in life. Number 1, timing. Number 2, the actual opportunity that correlates with the timing, but also correlates with the program or product. So let's just say Bitcoin. Timing could never be better. Well, You could have bought Bitcoin in 2009 for 12 cents. Let's be square. The opportunity is your kids, and their kids will be using Bitcoin or some derivative thereof, the blockchain. So the opportunity is immense. The actual program or product is the Bitcoin token. There's going to be some knockoffs. There's Ethereum and others, Zcash, Dash, Merino. There'll be, and then each government in each country will have their own token. But Bitcoin is the mama. It's the mother lode. What's the fourth one? Taking action. You can have all these things lined up, but if you don't take massive action, it don't matter. All goes away. So you never can capitalize on opportunity unless you take action, right? Harder you work, the luckier you get. What was another great one? Is where preparation meets opportunity is usually, another good one. All right, so number 2, how long does it take to cycle? Well, this is what I was saying earlier. Before it was like, ooh, I don't know, it could take, a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, could take a month. And I always tell people when I first started, it was like, a party. It's like people were cycling within 1 or 2 weeks. That's what I was saying the first few weeks. And then all of a sudden we got into about a month old and someone was like, wait a minute now, it's like, it's just 1 day after 2 weeks. And I'm not cycled yet, Robert, what's up? And some people are like, send my money back. Which brings up another story I'll tell if I don't forget it. I probably will forget it, and I may not even tell it, but because it's kind of sad. And it just basically summarizes everything I just said in the last 55, 60 minutes. Is that perception and the doubt and the hate and the anger and bitter actually prevents you from becoming wealthy and successful in life. Once you really realize it's no longer about you, but what value you can create to the market and help, then the party begins. But so some people say, how long is the cycle? Well, they have a cycle assurance plan, the only program really on the planet right now. And I'm a little nutso for even offering it, to be honest with you. But we'll see. I'm going to, run it until as we move into 2018, I'm going to shift some things, do some, toggle. At the end of the day, you're still going to make more money than any other program on the internet. Rest assured. Because I know every other program on the internet. I joined all the best ones, and I've been in every program ever since the internet was turned on. So you bring up any program, I'll tell you like that, it's either a scam, stay away, or it's a solid program, have fun. So now after 15 days, you have that option, right? You can take 50% as a cash out, start another position, and so now you got some. And the reason I did it is because people are like, I understand the power of time and money, right? Because double a penny every day for 30 days, you have 22 million, right? And that's called compound interest, and it's called reinvesting. But if your money's in a program for 30 days, that's 30 days and your money's locked. You can't grow, right? So I give you that option halfway through the month that you can take that money and go put it into another hot program or buy an ICO, or use that money to pay a bill, whatever. It gives you the option. But obviously by pulling the money out early, you get paid a little less, but you still have the opportunity to keep growing. Full 30 days, you get the full cycle. So when people ask how long is the cycle? Well, you either have a 15 or 30 day option. How that works is after 15 days, you take 50%, you can get 50% out, and then put it back in to start again. Or after 30 days, you get the full 400% payout. Now the payout will change because everyone has a forced reinvestment, and I really do it for the health of the company and for your own good. I may eventually, after you cha-ching, 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 after about 3 cha-chings, we start having a discussion. And I say, it's pretty nice getting Bitcoin, isn't it? But what's going to start to happen, Chief, is that we're going to go to this 50-50 model. So if you make 500 after 3-4 times, I'm going to say, okay, well, 250 is coming out to your Bitcoin wallet. Get ready. The other 250 is got to go back in the program. Now, with the higher programs, I already had that set up that way. So I just want to let you know that there will be some things where the first thing you do or don't want to do is, I ain't going to change the game on you. And if I do, I'm going to talk to you about it. And I'm going to always give you the opportunity to get paid as I say you're going to get paid, but then starting the next time. So I actually put a warning in, because what happens is the only way to really make big money long-term in life, a couple things, actually 3 things. first of all, find a team and a network and programs that are solid. That's one of the biggest things. The other thing is taking a portion of the money and always reinvesting and compounding. You know, USI has automatic rebuy your packages, right? BitConnect encourages you to put more money in. You split it. It's always a 50. It always comes down to about a 50-50, where you're always trying to reinvest your dollars. BitClub Network, which was huge a couple years ago. I know people making $150,000 a month in BitClub Network. It's tough to get in now, and they're trying to get blood out of a turnip. Anyone that says that you come in and we're going to mine Bitcoin and we'll pay you, be very nervous, because it's very, very tight margins on mining Bitcoin. The programs that are making money now are mining Ethereum, Zcash, Merino, Dash, right? Litecoin. Those are the programs that you need to watch, because they have huge farms. Now, USI just signed a $100 million contract, and they have a server room as far as I can see, and they're mining all those top tokens, right? EXP Assets, same thing. They're mining Ethereum, Zcash, Merino. I'm in Power Mining Pool. But just so you just got to smarten up, because when you're on Facebook and they message you, oh, see, and they'll give you a picture of their little computers that they're farming, they're mining their Bitcoin. BS, 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 BS. Okay, so getting back to the cycling, you have 15 and 30 days. Now, the reason I did that is to give you more money to do what you want to do. But in order to leverage up your money, right, you need, and I said those three things, right, which is the team, the network, the programs, and the reinvestment. It's not just cash it all out so I can pay all my bills and pay my credit cards off and start living on the hog, man, going bottle service and buying my Nike Air shoes for $300, right? And all of a sudden you realize that all the money Bitcoin Robert sent me is gone. How do I get more Bitcoin, Robert? We got to get back in. So you know what I mean? So you have to have a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month goal and a plan and a strategy. It ain't just, I'm going to put in as much money as possible, and as soon as that 15 days or 30 days up, you pay me. I want it all. Okay. And I always have a third or fourth question that I used to cover. There ain't nothing left at this point. What you need to decide on is this. So as you decide, you know, Bitcoin X4, most of you are already members, so I'm preaching to the choir. Some folks are thinking about joining. So with what we have in place, the 15 to 30 day, there ain't nothing that touches this. You know why? Because I know. That's why I designed it that way. I have no competition. Zero. Would that help you in the marketplace? You know, when I was in sales and made 6 figures for the last 25 years, one of the biggest things was competitive differentiation. How are you different and better than the competition? Everyone, if they're smart enough, knows that there's serious problems to be solved in the world. Problem number 1, ain't nobody got no money. Problem number 2, everyone hates their job. Problem number 3, the only way to change your life is to learn networking, sales skills, sales and marketing skills, learn how to connect with people and find programs that are solid in value and build big networks. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, says all the richest people on the planet build networks. Everyone else in the world works for those networks. If you're not consistently trying to connect and build a network, which is going to drive your income both now and in the future, you'll be working a job the rest of your life. Guess what? There's another 80 to 90% statistic out there that ain't pretty. 80 to 90% of the people that retire broke, or they die before they retire. So I've lost several loved ones the last few months. So I don't talk about death lightly, but you need to time to wake up, folks. But the main goal of this program, right, is to get you from 25 to making 100 to making 500 to making 1,000. But if you need to pull that money out and pay a credit card or pay your rent, you know, I understand. But then all of a sudden you start realizing the power of money, and you say, wow, you know, instead of taking 1,000 out, you know what, I'm going to put 500 in and take 500 out. I'll use the 500 to keep my bills paid. The other 500 I want to keep in, because guess what? 15 days or 30 days from now, that 500 turns into 700, turns into 1,000, 1,500. All of a sudden you understand the time and money and how money grows. and how you can, pace yourself and work with the power of the leverage, because money loves momentum and speed, but it also loves leverage. How do you apply leverage? By yourself. It's very hard. The only time that people become super rich is they apply leverage of other people's money, right? They have a great idea and they have venture capitalists that give them $10 million. Go start your app company. Go start Twitter. Twitter started with like $5 million investment dollars. Twitter's, went like this, right? But every company on the planet right now, Apple, the iPhone, Google, they all started with seed money. The engineers that were coding, and making Apple computers, like Steve Jobs and Wozniak in the garage in Palo Alto, they ain't got no money. They were living on friggin' top ramen. But they were friggin' geniuses, and they took massive action. Same with Bill Gates. I tell the story about massive action. They asked Bill Gates, what was the difference between you and everyone else trying to create the Windows operating system? We're an operating system that runs every computer on the planet. He says the only really difference was we all were friggin' geniuses. We all understood the code. But I just took massive action, right? Mark Cuban says that. You got to understand that no matter what you want to do in life, you got to understand that there's 1,000, if not 100,000 other people working twice as, if not 3 times as hard as you, going after that same goal. How are you going to, and then Elon Musk says the same thing. Elon Musk says he sleeps like 4 to 6 hours a day because he likes to work 20, because he understands that most people and his competitors work 10. He accomplishes most things in half the time. How? Because he works twice as much. Now, you have to kind of be a workaholic and a crazy person for that, right? So there is a balance of life. For me, I work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week because I love it, but I accomplish quite a bit. Now, some people, work their 8 or 9 hour, 10-hour job that they don't like, and they come on Facebook, and then it's one big party, right? They spend a half an hour. Hey, we're going to bottle service tonight. Where's the hop and poppin'? Oh, here's the sushi I'm having. And all of a sudden they realize, what? I need a little extra money. How do I make money online? Oh, let me go online. Let me join this shiny object program and throw 300 of Bitcoin over the fence. What do you mean? After 30 days, the business is gone. I lost my money. But thank God I have a job. So we need to get out of that nonsense, guys. It's like a dog chasing his tail. All right, let me go up and see. Oops, let me hang on. I'm reading the questions now, or any testimonies or things. So if you have anything pressing, it's about 90 minutes, which I try to keep my meetings to about 90 minutes. It's been a fun 90 minutes. Hopefully you've gotten some out of this. Now, so I'll be working the entire day. Like I said, I got 20 people that cycled just last night and this morning. I was gone for a day and a half visiting my daughter and watching her play volleyball and things. And I get back and I've been on my phone, telling everyone, I'll get to you. So for every hour that I'm not online working, I lose 3 hours. So do that math. But I'm always online. I always try to get back to you in a reasonable amount of time. But I also need everyone to have patience. Sometimes it takes 4 to 8 hours for me to reply back. And you're like, oh my God, finally. Oh, can you send me my board link? Which we'll cover real quick. I won't go too much into board links, but especially now with the 15 to 30 day, watching your board link and refreshing it every 10 minutes doesn't change universal laws. Water's still wet and gravity sucks. And your board really hasn't moved much. Why? Because we have 1,100 people. And you just joined a day ago or an hour ago. Right? Unless you or someone around you on your board are sponsoring 50 million people, then your board link don't really matter much. Now, the only time it really matters, and I appreciate when you send money over the fence, you want something. We'll get you in the group chat, we'll get you the group, we'll get you the website, and we'll get you your board link. And a lot of times it's for people that have 2, 3, 4, 5 friends that they want to bring in. And they kind of want to see the board, at the end of the day, it still doesn't change that dynamic. If you go sponsor 5 people, where do you think I'm going to put those 5 people? Under me, of course. I'm going to take all your people. No. I'm going to put them all under you, and you cycle. And I'll email you and say, hey, Gerald, you just cycled. Congrats. It's 5 people. I put them under you. Boom. Done. Wow, Robert, cool. Now, this takes me into the big announcement. I didn't share the slide. I won't go too much longer, just so all the members out there and people that are becoming members. We have the sponsorship rule that everyone that's sponsoring a lot of people eventually shake their head and say, yeah, Robert, you're right. Here's how it works real quick. And then I'll have to end up because I'm going to yada, 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 yada. You bring up somebody in, no matter what, they always will go on your board or next to you. Or now the other big thing people have to understand, and I'm getting messages like this that drives me absolutely batty, is that you're on a $25 board, right? And you went and sponsored somebody and they came in at a $50 board. Where do they go? Two places. Not under you, because you're on a $25 board. So that's the first place. Second place is your sponsor, maybe, so I can at least keep the family somewhat together. So if your sponsor has a $50 board, then I'll probably put them with them initially. And then when you cycle out, you can come join them eventually. So there's no way to get on a board of someone else that you've sponsored unless you're on that board. That's the one big thing that people, I think most of them understand that. The other big thing that I just announced, and I let it ride for 5 weeks, and I'm now starting to see the repercussions a little bit. It didn't impact the business that much, but it can really impact the business negatively long term. Because there's 25 boards, there's 50 boards, there's 100 boards, and there is just 400 $25 boards. 400? I ain't never going to cycle. No, so what happens is you can see a line of boards running, right? And all of a sudden someone comes in hot and they start to sponsor a bunch of people. Well, I respect the fact that they've sponsored people. I put them on their $25 board. They cycle. I send their payout. I get them from their cycle position underneath their people that they brought in so they can help their people. And then their people are brought in under them. But it only happens really about at the end of the second cycle. And then what happens is the person that brought in that 10, 15, 20 people, they go up to the top. And then their people start to cycle as well. And then they go up to, so what happens is I marry all sponsorships. Now, it doesn't change the fact that when I go bring him up to the top and he's kind of away from his team that he brought in, his team is still happening and they're still moving through the process. They still have 15, 30 days of cycle. It's not like they're just totally dropped. Everyone earns without any sponsoring at all. People, you got to understand that, right? But the only way to make it faster is go find more people. That's true in any business. Well, our business, there ain't no other business on the internet right now that touches our business. USI, yada, 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 ACC. I just had someone ping me about that, ACC. There's like half the people in that program haven't made a dime. And I won't even go there. But the new process is we marry it all together so it makes more of a consistent cycling for everybody. So there's that. And then the last thing, and then we'll try to end up, is the process to join. And the really, really key is the understanding that we have probably 100 people a day joining now. It's nuts, right? When we started out, we had nobody in 5 weeks. Now we have 1,100 people, and we have about 100 people joining a day, 50 to 100. So it takes a certain amount. And then, so here's another key is that when you have a sponsor that invited you in, some people say, I don't have a sponsor. I saw you on YouTube or I saw you on Facebook. Okay, well, I just put that person under the very next top spot, which could be under you. That's how everyone earns without sponsoring, because everyone that comes in without a sponsor goes under you or someone else. It's a true team build. I do the same thing in USI Tech, same thing in BitConnect, same thing in Yoda, same thing in Mint Builder. I help everyone build their business and send your link to other people. That's all I've ever done, because guess what? I understood that 80 to 90% of the people on the planet can't sponsor, don't know how to sponsor. So how do you make money online if 80 to 90% of the people can't do what they got to do to make money? Well, you help them make money by getting them their signups so they can start making money, and then they start finally understanding how to make money. This is what we do here. It's a true team build. So when you come in and your sponsor, now if you have a sponsor, this is what I was getting at. If your sponsor invited you, it's their responsibility. Sponsors, I'm talking to you. Some people, you sponsor somebody, it's all done. Well, I had nothing to do. I'll just throw them over the fence to Robert. No, not anymore, folks. And it's really super simple. And it's so important because they're your person. They're going to go on your board and help you cycle and make money. And this is the time you start building a relationship with them. They're a part of the team, right? So you put them in the group chat. You got to work through. The group chat has knights, we call them. They're like the group chat cops, but they're knights. They're very helpful. I have about 8 to 10 knights. It's spelled like, the Knights of Armor, Knights of the Round Table. So if you sponsor somebody, before you add them to chat, you have to send the knight at least payment proof. Say, can you add Barbara to chat We have 5 chats now because every chat has 250 people. May have to get a 6th chat, but 5 chats still sitting good. It's only about 100 members, so we're doing good. That's, you add it all up. That's why we're 1,100 members. But you need to add that person to the number 5 chat. You go to number 5 chat. Hopefully you're a member of the 5 chat group chat. Then you in the message you tag a night, or you search on the member list without changing the color, changing the name, kicking me out of the group, spamming your deal, and oh my God, I swear, man, if I see that, you better not. You better kiss your grits goodbye, folks. But if you go on and you search for the nights and then you ping them and say, hey, Barbara, or I think it's Janet, Linda, T, Tadola. There's about 8 of us, 8 of them. You say, hey, by the way, can you add Barbara to chat? That's their job. Now, if you send it to me and you have no sponsor and you join and then you bring somebody else in, you can ask me to add in the chat, because guess what? You're sending me the payment hash. I know they're the real deal. So I'll add them to you. That's all. That's what I really wanted to convey, is that when you sponsor people, it's your responsibility to get them plugged in. Next big thing is, once they're in the group chat, then you make sure that you get back with me, or you can message me and say, can you send so-and-so their board link? Now, I just did a whole speech on board links. You can wait 8 hours, 12 hours sometimes for a board link, folks. You don't need it in friggin' 1 hour, right? Especially with 15 to 30-day payouts. It isn't like a big, oh my God, I need my board link. And then the next thing is to get them a team site. How do you get a team site? There's about 3 or 4 or 5 people that make the Wix pages. It's Will Henderson, Aaron Herrera, Orvin Robertson. You go into the group, the chat that you're now added to, or ask the night, can you please help me get my Wix page, my team page, right? So now your new members in, they've paid. The most highest priority, of course, is getting the payment information to me so I can get them on the board and put them in the right place, under you or on you. Now, I'm not going to necessarily put them under you if there's no place to put them under you. I'll put them next to you. And then the other big thing, I'll probably do a team trading on the whole board thing, but it's not that difficult, folks. If you're on a board with somebody and your sponsor's right next to you, eventually the object is you're going to move up to the pay position and they'll just be right below you. Then when you get paid out, the board splits. That person now is their own board that you sponsored. So eventually you'll go underneath them, or you'll go on another board, because there's 2 boards that get created when you cycle. It splits into 2. So you're either on your sponsor's board or you're over there. And then when I send you the board links, you're like, wait a minute, where did all my people go? Where am I? Before you know it, I'll have to probably take screenshots of the 3 or 4 boards next to you so you can see it and have the visual. It ain't going to happen that way, folks. You got to understand that it's in my best interest to make you money. So every single person that you send me, I got to also have clear instructions. Lately, it's been an absolute nightmare. It's just name, sponsor, board, hash, those 4 things. But when you send someone in, and then people are sending people for people, meaning I spend 10 minutes to add somebody, and then, and I go through my 120 messages, I get to a message. Another person is sending the same guy an information to me. So I'm getting 3 or 4 people sending me the same information. So I'm like, I have to go back and realize that it takes me 10 minutes to realize that I already added the person a day ago. So anyway, I digress. This is actually a prospect meeting. I don't mean to, open up the kimono and the dirty laundry. I want to make sure that everyone understands that it's just so simple, folks. I mean, you just get someone in, they send the Bitcoin in, you send the payment hash. I need to know your name, if you're the sponsor, what board did they buy? And then if they bought a 25 board and you have a 50 board, guess what? They ain't going under you. They're going to go under somebody else. And I'll ask you, okay, who's your sponsor? So I may have to add a 5th element where it's name, sponsor, board, hash. And at the bottom, the last line is, oh, by the way, I don't have that board, so put them under so-and-so, who is your sponsor or your friend or your family. You got to help me out, because then I have to spend time asking you questions. Okay, wait a minute. You don't even have a board that this person paid for that you sponsored. Where do you want them? Because I'm going to put them in the very next top spot. You may say, that's cool. Do that. Or no, you know what? The guy who originally sponsored me, put them under them. Simple. All right. Let me finish up here, guys, so I can go on and on. I'll be working all day. I'll be at my computer. I'll be watching golf. I may actually finally go to the gym today. I haven't been in the gym for 2 weeks, so I'm trying to make you guys money, make you realize that there is a promised land. Promised land is when you finally realize that it's about working and networking with people with solid programs and taking consistent action towards your goal every day. You got to be able to define your goals. You got to understand that what's my 30-day plan, 60-day plan, 90-day plan? How am I going to replace my income? How am I going to be able to work full-time online? Well, you need to learn the skills of building and being a part of a network and a team and helping other people make money in order for you to make money, and then you'll finally be free. And then you don't have to do it alone. You do it with us the next year, right? And you may be just good with that. Or you can eventually learn all the skills that you learn over the whole year and start your own little team off the motherload, off the mothership. They're all the same principles. And then, you know, the leaders will help you out or whatever. But that's long term. Don't everyone start pinging me, hey, I want to start my own team. No. If you want to do that, you're welcome. But still, if you're part of this program, you're part of our team. That's the whole point. But you learn so many skills by being a part of a team in a solid program. Let me just go back down. Raymond Kalu, meeting started, you couldn't hear me. Everyone's hearing me. The people that can't hear me, it's just an adjustment on your computer. Yeah, Randy started with 50. He's up at $400, 800% ROI. He has 60 $50 boards. Randy has an interesting story as well. I'm glad to help Randy out. He's been through some tough times, and he's starting to see the light. You come here, this is like the promised land, man. This is like the pot at the end of the rainbow. Just don't F it up. Don't get greedy. Don't get impatient. Don't get angry and bitter. How's that been for you? How's that helped you out in your whole life before this, right? Never solves a thing. Never. Never, ever counteract hate with hate or anger with anger. Only love and forgiveness cleanses all. Kind of what every spiritual person that ever walked the planet Earth talked about, right? It's not like I'm making this stuff up. And then the money principles are very along those lines. Once you start understanding the principle of money and networking and helping people out, sharing, forgiving, loving, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I see the light. Mildred, after 3 weeks, received $600 in Bitcoin, 150 the first week, 150 the second week, 300 the third week. You know, you're probably going to have a $500 week coming up, if not more, because Mildred, you're on the $200 board and you're cycling soon. I mean that by it's going to be a good Thanksgiving, and Christmas looks freaking amazing. If North Korea blows up the whole world and the internet goes down, the blockchain goes down, and then everyone, sorry, can't help you. But if everything's cool, then we're all going to make a bunch of money. All right. So that's about it, guys. I appreciate your time. I'm going to get this out. I'll have this recorded out on YouTube so you can share it with others, which imagine that, actually sharing it with other people. The only way you're ever going to make money long-term is being able to connect and share with people, not spamming, right? Going into groups and looking at the big posts and putting your spam link in the comments, and then you get reported, and then you go to Facebook jail, right? I mean, it's time to wake up and smell the Starbucks. Doing this job. Oh my God, Larry, it's funny. So after 3 cycles of 400%, it goes to 50. Elizabeth, I knew that everyone twists. There'll be a big panic. All I'm saying, Elizabeth, she said that after 400%, it goes to 50%. No. Everyone makes 400% forever and ever and ever. Now, the 400% may not be direct Bitcoin to your wallet. Like every single thing that you make in this program is 400%. If you take the 15-day payout, it's only 150%. But it's still Bitcoin. It's either it's Bitcoin reinvested or Bitcoin directly to your wallet. It's still the same 400%. It just gets broken up differently. All I'm saying is, and as we get into 2018 January, and everyone's just wanting to cash out everything so they can go bottle servicing and buy their car and their Nikes, and then I'm going to talk everybody off a ledge and say the only way that this company is going to last and make us money long term is it's a forced reinvestment. So you get 50-50 now. Whereas right now it's like 80-20. Make sense? So you guys got to understand this kind of stuff. I'm only doing it to protect the company and to make you money more longer term. If I just paid everybody out, we'd be like a negative 50K, by the way. So money doesn't just come out of thin air. All right, peace, love. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. I'll be online all day and night and all day tomorrow because this is what I do. I freaking love helping people and making money. Doesn't get any sweeter than that, because along the way I get to help my family and friends, and it's the only reason I'm here, right? Other than having some good times too, right? All right, peace.